Stop begging for a place where your presence is only tolerated. Ride that again. If someone keeps showing you that you are not a priority, believe them. Stop chasing, stop proving, stop explaining. Every step you take toward people who don't value you is a step away from the person you're meant to become. The hardest truth in life is this: not everyone deserves access to you. And the moment you understand that, your life begins to change. Some of the deepest pain doesn't come from failure. It comes from giving everything to people who give you nothing in return. You sacrifice your peace, your time, your energy, your heart. You convince yourself that if you love harder, try longer, or become better, they'll finally see your worth. But value isn't something you beg people to recognize. Your value already exists. The question is, why are you standing in places that refuse to see it? Every moment you spend chasing people who ignore you is a moment stolen from your purpose. Life is too short to keep knocking on doors that were never meant to open. Your calling demands your attention, not your desperation. Walk toward your future, not toward their approval. You were never born to spend your life convincing people that you matter. Think about that. How many nights have you stayed awake wondering why someone couldn't see your heart? How many mornings have you questioned your own value because someone ignored your effort? How many times have you looked in the mirror and asked yourself, what's wrong with me? The answer is simple: nothing. There is nothing wrong with you. The problem begins the moment you allow someone else's opinion to become the measure of your worth. Your value was never placed in another person's hands. It never belonged there. The world has a dangerous way of making people believe that acceptance equals value. It teaches you that if enough people applaud you, then you're important. If enough people choose you, then you're worthy. If enough people love you, then you finally matter. But that's a lie. A dangerous lie. Because the moment your worth depends on someone else's approval, you've given away the greatest gift you possess: the power to define yourself. You don't become valuable because someone notices you. You don't become important because someone praises you. You don't become enough because someone finally decides to stay. You already are, you always were. Look at a diamond buried deep beneath the earth. Before anyone discovers it, before anyone polishes it, before anyone places it inside a crown, it is still a diamond. Its value never changes. People simply discover what was already there. The same is true for you. Just because someone failed to recognize your value doesn't mean your value disappeared. It simply means they lacked the vision to see it. Never confuse another person's blindness with your lack of light. Some people can stand in front of greatness and never recognize it. Some people can receive loyalty and still choose betrayal. Some people can be surrounded by love and still complain about loneliness. That has nothing to do with the value of what's in front of them. It has everything to do with the condition of their own heart. Stop making yourself smaller just so other people feel bigger. How many dreams have you hidden because you were afraid someone would laugh? How many opinions have you swallowed because you didn't want conflict? How many talents have you buried because you were waiting for permission? No more. The world doesn't need a smaller version of you. It needs the person you were created to become. Stop apologizing for your ambition. Stop apologizing for your discipline. Stop apologizing for wanting more out of life. There is nothing selfish about becoming the best version of yourself. In fact, it's your responsibility, because when you grow, you inspire others to grow. When you heal, you give others hope that healing is possible. When you refuse to settle, you remind someone else that settling isn't their destiny either. You were not created to live inside someone else's expectations. You were created with purpose. And purpose requires courage. There will always be people who misunderstand you. Let them. There will always be people who criticize your growth. Let them. There will always be people who become uncomfortable the moment you stop accepting less than you deserve. Let them. Not everyone is meant to understand your journey. Some people only knew the version of you that lacked confidence. Some only benefited from the version of you that never said no. Some only stayed because you kept sacrificing yourself for their comfort. The moment you begin to respect yourself, those relationships begin to change. And that's okay. Growth always reveals who truly belongs in your life. The people who genuinely care about you won't fear your success. They won't compete with your peace. They won't make you feel guilty for setting healthy boundaries. Instead, they'll celebrate your victories. They'll encourage your progress. They'll remind you who you are whenever life tries to make you forget. That's what real relationships look like. They build. They don't break. They strengthen. They don't weaken. Never chase people who require you to betray yourself just to earn their acceptance. If you have to pretend to belong, then you don't belong. If you have to silence your voice just to keep someone's attention, then that attention is too expensive. If you constantly have to prove your worth, you're standing in the wrong room. The right people won't require a performance. They'll appreciate your presence. Here's another truth you must never forget. Confidence isn't arrogance. Knowing your worth isn't pride. Respecting yourself isn't selfishness. Those who benefit from your insecurity may call it arrogance when you finally begin to believe in yourself. Don't let that stop you. Keep growing, keep believing, keep standing. Because the strongest people aren't the ones who never faced rejection. They're the ones who refuse to let rejection define them. Remember this: every no you received did not decrease your value. Every door that closed did not erase your purpose. Every person who walked away did not take your destiny with them. What's meant for you cannot be stolen by those who fail to appreciate you. Life has a remarkable way of removing people who no longer belong in your next chapter. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually protection. Sometimes what feels like loss is making room for something greater. Sometimes the greatest blessing is discovering that you no longer need validation from people who never understood your value in the first place. So stop doubting yourself, stop comparing yourself. Stop asking people to confirm what heaven has already placed inside you. Walk with confidence, not because life is easy, not because everyone will support you, not because every door will open, but because you know who you are, because you know your character, because you know your purpose. Stand tall when others misunderstand you. Stand firm when others underestimate you. Stand strong when the world tells you to settle. Your worth is not determined by applause. It is not determined by popularity. It is not determined by who stays or who leaves. Your worth is not up for debate. It is not up for negotiation. It is not waiting for someone's approval. Know your value. Believe it when no one else does. Protect it when others try to diminish it. Guard your peace. Guard your purpose. Guard your heart. Because once you truly understand your worth, you will stop begging for what should be freely given. You will stop chasing people who cannot see your light. You will stop settling for relationships that require you to abandon yourself. And from that moment forward, you won't simply survive. You will rise. Every chase has a price. Think about that. Nothing in life is free. Every decision costs you something. Every distraction costs you something. Every moment spent running after people who refuse to value you is taking something precious away from your future. The real question isn't whether you're paying. The question is, what are you paying with? Maybe you're paying with your confidence, every unanswered message, every broken promise, every moment you wonder why you're not enough. Little by little, your confidence begins to disappear. You begin questioning yourself instead of questioning the situation. You wonder if you're too much, too emotional, too ambitious, too honest, too different. No, you're not too much. You're simply giving too much to people who were never prepared to appreciate it. Never mistake rejection for your identity. Never allow someone's inability to value you to become the story you tell yourself. Because the story you believe becomes the life you build. Maybe you're paying with your peace. You wake up thinking about people who never think about you. You replay conversations that ended months ago. You create imaginary explanations for behavior that already gave you the answer. You lose sleep, you lose joy, you lose the ability to enjoy the blessings sitting right in front of you because your attention is trapped somewhere you no longer belong. Peace is priceless. Read that again. Peace is priceless. Once your peace is gone, everything else begins to lose its color. Food doesn't taste the same. Sex doesn't feel the same. Even laughter feels forced. That's what happens when you give someone control over your emotional world. Never hand someone the keys to your peace unless they've proven they know how to protect it. And maybe the greatest cost of all is your time. Time, the one thing money cannot buy, the one thing success cannot replace, the one thing that never comes back. You can recover from financial loss. You can rebuild after failure. You can heal from heartbreak, but yesterday is gone forever. How many months have you spent waiting for someone to change? How many years have you delayed your own growth hoping someone would finally recognize your worth? How many opportunities have passed by because your eyes were fixed on a closed door? Life keeps moving, whether you're ready or not. The clock doesn't stop because your heart is hurting. Purpose doesn't wait because you're chasing approval. Destiny keeps calling. The question is, are you listening? While you're trying to earn a place in someone's life, there are opportunities looking for you. There are dreams waiting for your courage. There are people praying for someone exactly like you to enter their lives. There are doors waiting for you to knock. But you'll never see them if your eyes remain fixed on the people who keep walking away. Sometimes we become so attached to one opportunity, one relationship, one dream, that we completely miss the greater one standing just a few steps away. That's why desperation is so dangerous. Desperation narrows your vision. It convinces you that one person is your entire future. One relationship is your only chance. One rejection is the end of your story. But faith sees differently. Faith reminds you that if one opportunity disappears, Another can appear if one person leaves. Someone better can arrive if one chapter ends. A greater chapter can begin. Purpose cannot grow where desperation lives. Ride that slowly. Purpose cannot grow where desperation lives. You cannot build confidence while constantly begging for acceptance. You cannot hear God's direction while your mind is consumed by people who have already chosen to walk away. You cannot step into your calling while your hands are tightly holding on to what was never meant to stay. Sometimes the bravest thing you will ever do is let go. Not because you stopped caring, but because you finally started caring about yourself. There comes a moment when holding on becomes heavier than walking away. There comes a moment when staying loyal to the wrong people becomes disloyalty to your own purpose. And that's the moment your life begins to change. People often believe faith means holding on forever. Sometimes it does, but sometimes faith means releasing what you cannot control. Faith means believing that God can write a better story than the one you're desperately trying to force. Because not every closed door is punishment. Some closed doors are protection. Imagine if every person you wanted had chosen you. Imagine if every opportunity had worked out. Imagine if every relationship had lasted. Would you be the person you are today? Probably not. Some endings are gifts wrapped in disappointment. Some rejections are blessings wearing the clothes of heartbreak. You just don't recognize them until much later. There are moments in life when you're crying over a door that closed, while heaven is preparing a gate you never imagined. Don't mistake delay for denial. Don't mistake silence for abandonment. Sometimes nothing is happening because everything is being prepared. Preparation often looks like waiting. Growth often feels uncomfortable, and blessings often arrive disguised as setbacks. Trust the process even when it doesn't make sense. Trust the timing even when you're tired. Trust the journey even when the road feels lonely. Because what belongs to you doesn't require manipulation, it doesn't require endless chasing, it doesn't require sacrificing your dignity. The opportunities meant for your life will require effort, yes. Discipline, absolutely, consistencies, without question. But they will never require you to destroy your self-respect just to gain access. Never confuse effort with begging. Never confuse persistence with desperation. There is a difference. One builds character, the other destroys confidence. Walk away from what constantly drains your spirit. Walk toward what challenges your purpose. Invest your energy where it can grow. Invest your heart where it is respected. Invest your time where it produces fruit. Your future deserves more than your leftovers. It deserves your full attention. It deserves your best effort. It deserves the version of you that is no longer distracted by people who cannot recognize your worth. One day you'll look back. You'll remember the people you once chased, the opportunities you begged for, the relationships you thought you couldn't live without, and you'll smile. Not because the pain wasn't real, but because you'll finally understand. If those doors had opened, you would have missed the ones that changed your life forever. So stop running after what keeps running away from you. Stop exhausting yourself trying to convince people to stay. Turn your focus toward your purpose. Turn your energy toward your calling. Turn your heart toward the future that has been waiting patiently for you. Because what's truly meant for your life will never require you to lose yourself just to hold on to it. People hear the word discipline, and they immediately think about alarms going off before sunrise. They think about long hours, hard work, sweet sacrifice. They picture athletes training until their bodies can barely move. They picture entrepreneurs working late into the night. They picture students studying while everyone else is sleeping. And they're right. Discipline is waking up early when your bed is calling your name. Discipline is working harder when nobody is watching. Discipline is showing up on the days when motivation disappears. But discipline is much more than that. Real discipline isn't only about what you're willing to endure. It's also about what you're willing to leave behind. Sometimes the greatest display of discipline isn't staying. It's walking away. Walking away from people who repeatedly disrespect you. Walking away from conversations that steal your peace. Walking away from environments that slowly destroy your confidence. Walking away from relationships where you're the only one making an effort. That takes courage. Because walking away isn't easy. It's emotional, it's uncomfortable, it's painful. Sometimes you've invested years into people who never truly invested in you. Sometimes you've poured your heart into relationships that only left you empty. You tell yourself that maybe one more conversation will fix everything. Maybe one more chance will change them. Maybe if you love harder, give more, sacrifice more, things will finally be different. But some people don't change because you suffer longer. Some people don't appreciate loyalty simply because you continue giving it. There comes a point where staying isn't loyalty anymore. It's self-neglect. Ride that again. There comes a point where staying isn't love anymore. It's fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of letting go. But fear has never built a meaningful life. Faith has, courage has, discipline has. You have to become disciplined enough to recognize the difference between a temporary struggle worth fighting through and a permanent pattern that is slowly breaking your spirit. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every argument deserves your response. Not every relationship deserves another chance. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Some people will keep testing your boundaries as long as you keep moving them. Every time you tolerate disrespect, you teach people how to treat you. Every time you stay silent when your values are being ignored, you tell the world that your standards are negotiable. Every time you continue chasing someone who has already shown you where you stand, you slowly abandon yourself. And the greatest tragedy in life isn't losing someone else. It's losing yourself while trying to keep them. Never become so committed to keeping other people happy that you forget what peace feels like. Real strength isn't proving you can hold on forever. Real strength is knowing when your hands need to let go. People often confuse silence with weakness, but silence can be one of the strongest decisions you'll ever make. Not every insult deserves a reply. Not every lie deserves your defense. Not every misunderstanding deserves your explanation. Sometimes silence says everything your words never could. Silence protects your energy. Silence protects your focus. Silence protects your future. Because while everyone else is busy arguing, you're busy building. While everyone else is trying to win debates, you're winning at life. Understand this: attention is not the same as respect. Many people chase attention because it feels good for a moment. Likes, comments, validation, approval. But attention fades. Respect lasts. Don't build your life around being noticed. Build your life around becoming valuable. People who seek attention often lose themselves trying to keep it. People who seek purpose find fulfillment that attention can never provide. Choose peace over attention every single time. Peace allows you to think clearly. Peace allows you to make wise decisions. Peace allows you to hear your purpose instead of the noise around you. You don't need to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't need to answer every critic. You don't need to convince every doubter. Your responsibility isn't to change everyone's opinion. Your responsibility is to stay faithful to your purpose. Growth requires difficult decisions. Growth demands uncomfortable endings. Growth asks you to leave behind the version of yourself that accepted less than you deserved. And that's painful because comfort is familiar. Even unhealthy comfort feels safe. People stay in toxic relationships because they're familiar. People stay in unhealthy environments because they're predictable. People keep chasing unavailable people because uncertainty feels less frightening than starting over. But comfort has trapped more dreams than failure ever has. You cannot grow while refusing to leave what keeps holding you back. Growth requires movement. Growth requires separation. Growth requires courage. Imagine trying to climb a mountain while carrying a backpack filled with rocks. Every step becomes harder. Every breath becomes heavier. Eventually, you stop blaming the mountain. You realize the weight you're carrying is the real problem. Life works the same way. Some relationships are emotional weights. Some friendships are emotional weights. Some habits are emotional weights. Some memories are emotional weights, and until you decide to put them down, the climb will always feel impossible. Discipline means putting down what no longer serves your future. Even when it hurts, especially when it hurts, remember this. Walking away isn't giving up. Walking away isn't failure. Walking away isn't weakness. Sometimes walking away is the very thing that saves your future. Because every time you close the wrong door, you create space for the right one to open. Every time you refuse to settle, you raise the standard for your own life. Every time you protect your peace, you protect your purpose. The people who belong in your life will never require you to destroy yourself to keep them. The opportunities meant for you will never demand that you abandon your values. The future prepared for you will never require you to live in constant exhaustion just to maintain it. So stop confusing struggle with purpose. Not every struggle is noble. Some struggles are simply signs that it's time to move. Be disciplined enough to recognize the difference. Be strong enough to choose yourself. Be wise enough to protect your heart. Be brave enough to leave what no longer honors your growth. Because every single time you refuse to chase what doesn't value you, every single time you walk away from disrespect, every single time you choose dignity over desperation, you make room for something greater relationships, greater opportunities, greater peace, greater purpose. And one day you'll realize that the hardest step wasn't walking away. The hardest step was believing you deserved something better. The moment you believe that, everything changes. Walk away with your head held high. Walk away with faith instead of fear. Walk away knowing that discipline isn't only about holding on. Sometimes, discipline is having the strength to let go. Imagine waking up every single morning, not reaching for your phone the moment your eyes open, not wondering who texted you back, not checking whether someone finally noticed your effort, not waiting for approval, not hoping for recognition. Just imagine that kind of freedom. Imagine beginning your day with peace instead of anxiety. Imagine starting your morning focused on your purpose instead of someone else's opinion. That's real freedom, because the strongest prison in the world isn't made of steel, it's made of validation. It's waking up believing your happiness depends on someone else's response. It's believing your worth increases when people applaud you and decreases when they ignore you. That's not living. That's surviving on borrowed confidence, and borrowed confidence always expires. You were never created to build your identity on the opinions of people whose opinions change every day. One day they praise you, the next day they criticize you, one day they support you, the next day they disappear. If you build your confidence on unstable people, your confidence will always be unstable. That's why purpose matters more than popularity. Purpose gives you direction. Approval only gives you temporary comfort. Purpose wakes you up before the alarm. Approval keeps you awake at night wondering if you're enough. Choose purpose. Every single time, ask yourself this question: why are you doing what you're doing? Are you chasing your dream or are you chasing applause? There's a difference, a huge difference. Some people don't want success. They want attention. They don't want to make an impact. They want to impress people. They don't want fulfillment. They want admiration. But admiration fades. Purpose doesn't. When your mission is clear, opinions become background noise. People will talk, let them. People will misunderstand you, let them. People will doubt your vision, let them. Not everyone has been given the ability to see what you see. And that's okay. Your assignment isn't to convince everyone. Your assignment is to stay faithful to the vision you've been given. The moment you stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you, your life becomes lighter. Stop spending your energy defending your dreams. Spend that energy building them. Results speak a language that arguments never can. You don't have to announce every goal. You don't have to broadcast every plan. You don't have to explain every move. Sometimes silence is your greatest strategy. Work in silence. There's something powerful about quiet progress. While everyone else is talking about what they're going to do, you're doing it. While everyone else is seeking attention, you're building character. While everyone else is posting every step, you're climbing the mountain. Quietly, patetly, faithfully. Real growth doesn't need an audience. A tree doesn't become taller because people watch it. It grows because its roots continue working beneath the surface. That's how your life should be. Build your roots before you worry about your branches. Strengthen your character before chasing recognition, because recognition without character becomes pride. But character creates lasting success. Grow in silence. Growth isn't always visible. Sometimes the greatest changes happen where nobody can see them. Healing is like that. Discipline is like that. Faith is like that. No one sees the battles you fight inside your mind. No one sees the temptation you resisted. No one sees the tears you wiped away before walking into the room with a smile. No one sees the lonely nights when you kept believing even though nothing around you made sense. But those hidden moments, those silent victories, they are building someone stronger than the world has ever seen. Never underestimate quiet growth. The strongest foundations are built underground. Heal in silence. Not every wound needs an audience. Not every heartbreak needs an announcement. Not every setback needs an explanation. Take your pain to the place where healing begins. Learn from it. Grow through it. Pray through it. Don't let your pain become your identity. Let it become your teacher. Healing doesn't happen overnight. It happens one decision at a time, one forgiven memory at a time, one peaceful morning at a time, one courageous step at a time. Be patient with yourself. Healing isn't weakness. Healing is preparation. The healthier you become, the healthier your future relationships become, the healthier your decisions become, the healthier your purpose becomes. And when healing is complete, your confidence no longer depends on who stayed. It depends on who you've become. Then let your results speak. There is something unforgettable about quiet excellence. People can argue with your words. They cannot argue with consistent results. You don't need to announce your discipline. Your life will reveal it. You don't need to tell everyone you're changing. They'll notice. One day they'll wonder why you no longer chase attention, why you no longer respond to every criticism, why you no longer compete with everyone around you. The answer is simple. You've become too focused. The strongest people in this world are rarely the loudest. They don't waste energy trying to prove themselves. They let consistency do the talking. While others seek applause, they seek improvement. While others compare, they create. While others complain, they continue. That's real strength. Focus has become a rare gift. The world is full of distractions, notifications, opinions, argument, comparisons, endless noise every day. Something is competing for your attention, and remember this: whatever has your attention eventually shapes your life. Protect your focus, guard it like your future depends on it, because it does. A distracted mind rarely fulfills its purpose. A focused mind can change generations. Stay focused on your mission when others lose themselves chasing trends. Stay focused on your growth when others waste years proving themselves to strangers. Stay focused on your values when the world encourages shortcuts. Your destination is too important to be delayed by distractions. Stay faithful. There will be days when you don't see progress. Days when your efforts seem invisible. Days when quitting feels easier than continuing. Keep going. Faith isn't believing because everything makes sense. Faith is believing when nothing does. Keep planting, keep building, keep trusting. Even when the harvest hasn't arrived yet. The seed doesn't stop growing because it can't see the tree, neither should you. And finally, stay moving. Never let rejection stop your journey. Never let criticism steal your momentum. Never let the opinions of people who aren't living your life determine how you live it. Move with purpose. Move with confidence. Move with humility. Every step forward matters. Every small improvement matters. Every disciplined decision matters. One day you'll wake up and realize something incredible. The approval you spent years chasing no longer matters. Because you've built a life so deeply rooted in purpose that validation has become unnecessary. You've discovered that peace is louder than applause. Purpose is greater than popularity. Character is stronger than attention. And when your life is built on purpose instead of approval, nothing can shake the foundation you've built. Stay focused, stay faithful, stay moving. Your purpose is waiting for the person who refuses to be distracted. Listen carefully. One of the greatest lessons you will ever learn in life is this: the right people will never require you to chase them. Ride that again. The right people. The people who genuinely respect you. The people who truly value your heart. The people who appreciate your loyalty. Will never make you feel like you have to earn a place in their lives every single day. Real relationships are not built on one person doing all the work. They're built on mutual effort, mutual respect, mutual trust, mutual commitment. Respect will meet respect. Loyalty will meet loyalty. Love will meet love. That is how healthy relationships grow. Not through begging, not through chasing, not through constantly proving your worth. If someone values your presence, they'll make room for it. If someone values your time, they'll respect it. If someone values your heart, they'll protect it. You should never have to convince someone to care about you. You should never have to remind someone to treat you with dignity. And you should never lose yourself trying to hold on to people who have already let go. Too many people spend years running after relationships that were never meant to last. They keep calling, keep texting, keep explaining, keep forgiving, keep hoping, believing that one more effort, one more sacrifice, one more chance will finally make everything different. But sometimes the hardest truth to accept is this: you cannot force someone to value what they have already decided to overlook. No amount of love can change a heart that has already chosen indifference. No amount of loyalty can create appreciation inside someone who refuses to recognize it. No amount of sacrifice can make the wrong person become the right one. That's why you must stop running after people who keep walking away. Every step you take chasing them is one step you're not taking toward your purpose. Turn around. Yes, turn around. Because the direction you've been running is taking you farther away from the life you're meant to live. You keep looking behind you, looking at old conversations, old memories, old disappointments, old versions of yourself. But your future has never been behind you. Your future has always been ahead of you. Walk toward your purpose. Walk toward the dream that's been waiting for your full attention. Walk toward the goals you've postponed because you were too busy trying to fix people who never wanted to change. Walk toward the peace you've been praying for. Walk toward the person you're capable of becoming. There comes a moment in every life when letting go becomes the doorway to becoming. As long as your hands are tightly holding yesterday, they cannot fully receive tomorrow. You cannot embrace your future while refusing to release your past. That's why letting go isn't losing. Sometimes letting go is receiving. Receiving peace, receiving clarity, receiving strength, receiving freedom. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of this decision, a stronger version, a wiser version, a calmer version, a more confident version. But you'll never meet that person if you keep returning to the places that continue breaking your spirit. Your calling requires a different mindset. It requires faith. It requires courage. It requires movement. Purpose cannot be fulfilled while your heart remains trapped in places you've already outgrown. Think about an eagle. An eagle cannot soar while chained to the ground. It was created for higher places. You were too. You were not created to spend your life chasing acceptance. You were created to build, to serve, to grow, to inspire, to leave this world better than you found it. But you cannot do that while constantly looking over your shoulder, hoping someone who walked away will suddenly come back. Stop waiting, start becoming. Your future is not hidden inside the opinions of people who rejected you. Their rejection was never the final chapter of your story. It was simply the end of one page. The author of your life is still writing. There are people you haven't met yet who will celebrate your presence instead of merely tolerating it. There are friendships waiting for your honesty. There are relationships waiting for your loyalty. There are opportunities waiting for your courage. There are blessings waiting for your obedience. But first, you must make room. Boredom doesn't appear by accident. You create it. Every unhealthy attachment you release creates room for something healthier. Every painful memory you forgive creates room for peace. Every distraction you remove creates room for purpose. Every fear you confront creates room for confidence. Don't be afraid of empty spaces in your life. Sometimes God empties your hands because He's preparing to place something greater inside them. Trust that process even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. There will be days when loneliness whispers that you made the wrong decision. Don't listen. Loneliness is temporary. Purpose is permanent. Pain is temporary. Growth lasts. Disappointment is temporary. Character remains. Keep walking one step then another. Don't stop because someone failed to recognize your value. Keep moving because you finally recognize it yourself. Choose peace. Every morning, choose peace over chaos. Choose growth over comfort. Choose discipline over excuses. Choose faith over fear. Choose purpose over popularity. Choose your future over your past. And most importantly, choose yourself. Choosing yourself doesn't mean becoming selfish. It means respecting the life you've been given. It means protecting your heart from constant disappointment. It means refusing to abandon your dreams for people who would never sacrifice theirs for you. It means understanding that your well-being matters, that your purpose matters, that your peace matters. When you choose yourself, you become capable of loving others from a place of strength instead of desperation. You stop seeking people to complete you. Instead, you meet them as a complete person. That changes everything. Remember this truth for the rest of your life. Never chase what is already chosen to leave. Never beg for what should be freely given. Never sacrifice your dignity for temporary attention. Never exchange your peace for someone's inconsistent affection. The right people will recognize your value without being convinced. The right opportunities will honor your effort. The right season will arrive at the right time. Until then, keep building, keep believing, keep becoming. Walk with confidence, walk with faith, walk with purpose. Because every step away from what rejected you is one step closer to everything that was always meant to find you.